3.
Can you please say your name?
My name is Daniel Dinkins.
What is your job title?
My job title is Program Coordinator at the UNC Chapel Hill Visitor Center.
And what do you do?
So my job really has two main parts. So I work inside the Visitor Center as really the guest relations manager at the Visitor Center. And so I help lead historic tours of the campus, and then I also help guide visitors who are coming to campus as well throughout the campus for their first time or second time or third time. And then I also train UNC students who work at the Visitor Center to give historic tours of the campus as well. Then the next part of my job, I lead a program called First Look. It's for middle school students, and so we see about 5,000 middle school students on campus every year. So I lead a program called First Look for them.
That's so cool.
Thanks.
How did you do? How did your I can't read this.
That's okay.
How
You need a little bit of help.
How did you get your job?
Okay. So my job position, it was posted on the UNC, the Human Resources website. And so I saw that it's something that I was really interested in because I really like helping with people, and I like really guiding people and giving advice to people as well. And so this was an attractive job for me when I saw it, because I was a student here at UNC as well. So I really am passionate about the university, and so I've always wanted to help other people experience the campus as well. And so it was kind of a no-brainer and why I was attracted to it. So once I saw that, then I wanted to look at what the job requires. And so one thing, it required me to have a bachelor's degree. And so I had already earned a bachelor's degree. So I got that, and then along with a few other things. And so then I applied. Then once I applied to the job, the next phase was to wait to see if I could get an interview. So then I got called for an interview to come in and do an interview. Once I did that, I was one of the finalists. So I was one of the last 3 finalists to see if I could get the job, and then I was the one that got the job. So that is the sequence of how I got into this job.
Wow. How how long have you been working here?
I've been working here for about 2.5 years. I started working in my job in July of 2014. So 2.5 years, yeah.
What's your favorite thing about your job?
I would say the favorite thing about my job is that every day is very different. So I get to see brand new people every day, and because I like change, I don't like the same routine every day. And so, since I get to meet people from all over the world who come into the visitor center, and new middle school students that I see every day, each person brings something really fun and new to the table. And so I like that change. So that's the favorite thing. My favorite thing about my job is that everything's different.
You get to see us every day.
I don't get to see you all every day, but when I do get to see you, it's so much fun. We have a lot of fun on our tours. Do you have fun on tours?
Activities.
Activities are fun, true.
What's the hardest things about your job?
I'd say the hardest thing about my job is breaking down some of the barriers for middle school students in the First Look program, because we're talking about college and why college is important. That's the main goal for our students in First Look. We want them to go to college one day or see college as a possibility, and sometimes a lot of them don't see college as a possibility. So it's my job to show them that it can be a possibility for them. For example, showing them that there are ways to pay for college, showing them that, hey, if you start right now preparing for college while you're in middle school, then that'll make your path a little bit easier. So that's a challenge sometimes, because there's a lot of things that can get in the way of a middle school student who is trying to go to college. So trying to show them that it's a possibility, it can be hard at times.
What's the most memorable thing? No. What's the most memorable tour you've given at UNC?
Wow, that's a great question.
I know, tough, right?
Gosh, that is a tough question. So, well, in addition to the tours I give you guys, those are really fun.
Fill it out.
Those are very fun because we get to go on different themes. We get to do tours that have different themes, right? So we'll do a tour all about theater and drama. Then we'll do a tour about the main landmarks of UNC. So those are really fun. But I have to tell you about this other tour that I gave. This visitor, he came to the visitor center and he was on a road trip all across the United States. He wanted to see all 50 states. So he quit his job to see all 50 states, and North Carolina was his last state that he was missing. So he decided to come to Chapel Hill and he wanted a tour. So I gave him a tour, and by the end of it all, he said that this was in his top 5 states that he had been to because of the tour. So that was really fun to really try to highlight, the best parts of UNC. It was kind of intimidating, but at the same time, it was fun too, since I'm really passionate about the place. So that was a very memorable tour.
What did you want to be when you were younger?
When I was younger, I wanted to be a dentist. I always wanted to be a dentist.
What job do you want? What job do you want after this job?
That's a good question. So, the way that I think is that I have to look back at all of my jobs and think, what are the things that I really, really like about all of my past jobs? And then I have to take those things so that the next job that I get includes all of the things that I've liked about my past jobs. And then the things that I don't like about all of my past jobs, I have to try to take those away for my next job. So I have realized that I really like to find the best fit for someone. With the job that I do, when visitors come, I try to think of things that would create a great experience for them, whether it be the art museum or the basketball museum and things like that. And so I like finding the best fit for people, and I like people as well. I like to help people progress too. And so I've been doing some research, and I may want to look into recruiting, like being a professional recruiter. I've done that before. I was an admissions counselor at a college in Indiana called Franklin College. And so that's the first time where I realized I really like recruiting. But I think I want to recruit like people who are a little bit older. So they were students in high school, but I like working with people who are a little bit older too. So I'll look into like professional recruiting. That may be my next job.
What qualities do think any can you help me with this one?
Sure. Okay, so what qualities do I think an employer looks for when hiring someone? Okay, so what qualities do most employers look for? So I think employers look for someone who's honest. You really want, an employer really wants to have somebody on their team who they can trust and believe in too. So I think that, honesty is a great quality to have. I think also being on time. It's nice. I think employers like to know that they can count on you to be present. And so I think that being on time is a great quality to have. So I've said to being honest, being on time, and then I would say that another quality that is good is always delivering what you said that you would deliver. Like if you promise that you would execute a project, or if you said that you would have this project done or this task done at a certain time, it's important to follow through with that. So I think that following through with what you promised to do is a really good quality that employers like too.
What qualities makes a good worker?
What qualities make a good worker? This will kind of go along with the last question. I mean, being on time, being honest, delivering what you said that you can deliver. What else? What other qualities make a good worker? I would say, being a good team worker. A lot of the times the jobs that you would have is not just you. There's other people that you're working with too. So that means that there's other personalities that you work with. And sometimes you really have to compromise, even though you have a certain opinion about something. Sometimes you have to compromise so that the project that you're working on can do well, even if your original opinion is not the overall opinion of everyone. Sometimes you have to adjust to make sure that the project goes well. So I think that being a good team worker is really important. That's a good quality to develop too.
Do you have a role model?
Do you have a role model? I do. I have quite a few role
I'm not
models.
finished.
Oh, okay.
Who and why?
Okay. So, I have one role model who was my previous boss. His name was Alan Hill, and he was the vice president of enrollment and marketing at Franklin College. And he was a great role model, being an African American male, like me, he really was able to lead a team of admissions counselors like we are, and financial aid officers too, to attract students to Franklin College, and that's not an easy task. And I saw him be the first one at work every day, and he was the last one to leave every day too. So, he set a really great example of what it's like to work hard, and I strive to do that too. And so, at the same time, he remained really humble, and he was just very approachable person. And so that's something that I always strive to do as well. So I see him as a role model, and I still am able to keep in contact with him and ask him questions and ask him advice. And so he's a role model that I have.
You're gonna like this one. Do you have any advice for me before I graduate and looking for a job?
Yes. So I would say, gosh, I have a lot. Where do I start? I would say one piece of advice is to think about what you like to do. Think about what you like to do, and don't be picky about what you like to do. And jot those things down as well, because you are going to be working. Most people work for 8 hours a day, and so that's 1/3 of your day. 1/3 of your day you're at work, and so if you get 8 hours of sleep, that means half of the time that you're awake, you're at work. Okay, and so that's why it's important to list the things that you like to do, because you want to have a job that includes things that you like to do. Because if you do not like your job, if you're doing a lot of things at your job that you don't like to do, you're probably an unhappy person at your job. So that means you are unhappy for half of the time that you're awake. That's not healthy at all, is it? Does that sound? No. And so that's why it's so important, to work somewhere that you like to work. Okay? That sounds so simple, but a lot of people make that mistake, I feel like. And so that's something that I would definitely do.
Who is your favorite hip-hop artist?
Who's my favorite hip-hop artist? Okay, who's my favorite hip-hop artist? I'm more into R&B. So I don't have like a top hip-hop artist. Really? Man. I'm so old school. I really am. I like 70s, I like 80s music. So I don't really have a favorite hip hop artist, to be honest with you.
Pick anyone.
Anyone? Gosh, this is hard. Maybe Justin Bieber. You know that song "Love Yourself." Is that what it's called?
Go and love yourself.
Go and love yourself. I really like that song, so I'll pick Justin Bieber.
Do you have any pets? That's the last question.
Do I have any pets?
Mhm.
No, I do not have any pets.
Okay.
I want a pet though. I want a dog. I want a Labrador.
That's the last question.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.